Good morning. Today we're going to use a softball to release off various structures. So I'm going to go through releasing off your hip flexors, releasing off your side body, finding a bit of rib mobility, and then looking at also using it to release off the front of your chest as well. So let's get started. So the lovely thing about a softball is that you can inflate it or deflate it as much as you like. So feel free to pop the plug out, let out a bit of air, add a bit of air in. You'll find that as you start, you might need to start with the ball a bit more deflated and then gradually build up the air inside it. And these are also lovely for travelling. They kind of compress down really nicely as well. So they're a good thing to kind of take with you if you know you're going to be kind of developing any stiffnesses or tightnesses whilst you travel. So, releasing off hip flexors, lower abdomen, all of those kind of muscles that live kind of deep in the base of our pelvis as well. So I'm going to lie myself on my front and I'm going to place my ball kind of just below my belly button. So kind of above my pubic bone, in between my hip bones and below my belly button, that's kind of where I want to be. And my aim is that I'll just relax down onto the ball here. Now as you inhale, you'll feel as though you're sort of pushing down into the ball. And then as you exhale, almost feel like you're gently sort of absorbing the ball into your abdomen. It may take a few breaths or a little while, even a couple of minutes, to feel like you're really getting down into those deeper structures in the base of your abdomen. So i.e. your psoas, your hip flexors. But just kind of bear with it, really relaxing down, making sure that the rest of your body can grow nice and heavy. And again, adjust the amount of air in the ball. So I might stay here for sort of 3 minutes or so even, and then I could even move the ball out to one side very slightly to get into one side of my hip flexor or the other side. So have a play around with that. You can spend 3 to 5 minutes there, just kind of breathing gently, feeling that gentle progression of stretching into the abdomen as well. Maybe feeling like you're sort of getting down onto tighter structures as well. The next one we're going to go through is like a side body stretch, and we'll talk through how to mobilise ribs here first and then how to lengthen the whole of the side body. So I'm going to pop the ball underneath kind of waist and lower rib cage here. I'm going to use my knees bent just so I feel nice and stable and head can be supported or can be on a pillow, wherever you want to be. And I'm going to bring my hands to my rib cage. Now we're going to look at laterally expanding our rib cage and then relaxing as we breathe out. So as I breathe in, and I might use a very gentle sort of pressure from my hand down into my ribs in order to give me some feedback. I'm going to inhale, laterally expanding, so feeling my rib cage lifting into my hands. And then as I exhale, I'm going to feel that lowering and maybe just working down towards my spine. Inhale. Now for some of you this will feel quite stiff, so do feel free to use a bit of gentle pressure from your hand to guide your ribs back down, and then a bit of gentle pressure to work up and against as you inhale again, okay? So you might do 5 breaths, 8 breaths of that, just feeling that lovely expansion, just sensing what you're doing there. And then I'm going to lengthen out my top leg and lengthen out my top arm to start to create a bit of space through the whole of the side body. So we're going to just look to create like a lengthening out from your centre point. This may be where you add a bit more air to the ball, so you might find that you need a bit more of a lift, but this should feel like a nice stretch maybe in lats, maybe in your back, maybe in your abdomen, maybe in the side of your hip, or even into the side of your leg. As you actively reach, you might even feel some deep core work, so a little bit of your kind of deep core working in order to reach actively. And feel free to flex your foot and press through your heels, feel that a bit more actively. If you really want to, you can even do a little bit of keeping long and doing a little bit of leg work here if you wanted to, or staying along and doing a little bit of arm work. Okay? But this is a nice place again to just spend a bit of time finding expansion. The last thing we're going to do is then opening up through the front of the chest. So I'm going to relax back onto the ball with it underneath my rib cage, and then I'm going to let my head relax back and down, keeping my knees bent if I want to, or I can lengthen it up to you. And then we might do hands behind head, and just starting to find a bit of expansion in our upper abdomen here. So sometimes we can end up tight through the top of our abs, or through the sort of bottom of our rib cage. You could even do a little bit of manual release yourself with your fingertips. But then we're going to think about inhaling deep into the bottom of our rib cage, inhaling deep into our diaphragm, and then as we exhale, everything narrowing and sinking again. So this is a nice place to be. You can have hands behind head, you can have hands out in a crucifix position, hands overhead in more of a cactus position. Up to you, it's just a lovely place to open through your chest. Okay, so play around with how inflated this is, play around with your breath to allow you to sort of move better. You know, if our rib cage is stiff, the rest of our spine doesn't move beautifully either. So have a little play, send me any questions or ask me in the next session. Take care, bye.